This is the POWLAX Backyard, where I'll be teaching techniques and how to fix common mistakes by showing you ways to improve your game at home. Before we get started, I'd like to thank all of the POWLAX members whose generous contributions make these videos possible. We believe that the best way to improve and grow the lacrosse landscape is by educating players, parents, and coaches with the information they need to be successful so they can enjoy the sport. That's why all of the POWLAX videos are free to watch anytime, anywhere. If you enjoy the POWLAX content and want to help contribute to their creation, consider becoming a member at POWLAX.com. For just $5 a month, you gain access to the entire POWLAX playbook, a series of PDFs that accompany all the POWLAX videos. Once again, thank you to all of the POWLAX members. Now let's get back to the video. Now the first type of shot we're going to cover is our shot in tight. Now if we're in tight close to the goal, we're not going to need to use a big shoulder turn and our hands back to generate a bunch of power because we're so close that the goalie's not going to have enough time to react. We really just want to put the ball in a place where the goalie can't get to it quickly. And as we're thinking about the technique, we're going to want to make sure that our stick is protected, which we're going to have near our head. So we're going to put our stick on our collarbone. Our top hand's going to be shoulder height. Our bottom hand's going to be across our body so we can point our butt end. And our bottom hand's going to be a little lower than our top hand so that the head of the stick always stays up above our top hand. Now this is all stuff we covered in the passing video, and this is essentially the same as just making a quick pass that acts as a shot. Now, once we're here and we're aiming, notice that I can aim from pipe to pipe by just barely moving my stick even just the tiniest bit, and that's going to add a lot of value to how we want to shoot. Now just because I want to aim by pointing my butt end, and this gives me a reference to how I'm going to pull straight over the top and paint the pipes, I don't always have to have my butt end out. Notice how with my stick out like this, I'm a pretty easy target for players to check me, and if I drive my hands back a little bit, now the head of my stick is really exposed. So I can actually generate enough power by keeping my shoulders big and protecting my stick and shooting from basically my head area where I still can snap the ball off pretty well because we're so close, and I can really protect my stick well. Now when we are taking our shot, we want to make sure that we snap our wrists, and what that means is that we're going to use our fingers and our wrists, and we're going to pull our bottom hand down to our pocket. We're going to follow with our top hand to that pocket, and we're just going to pull and follow all the way through. Now if we want to add a little bit of power, it is okay if we want to kind of turn our shoulders a little bit, but when we're inside, we don't really need to use a shoulder turn, and oftentimes a shoulder turn is going to send a player's hands out so that they're going to be easier to get checked. The final thing about shooting inside that we're going to mention here, but we're not going to cover, is the idea of faking and using deception when we're shooting inside. So goalies are taught to match stick inside. So if you don't throw a fake, you can expect their stick to match your stick. Now, one way to avoid that, if you're not going to use any types of faking or deception, is that if you're shooting inside from your collarbone, shoot low. It's really hard for a goalie who is going to try to match stick to then drop, and if you put the ball on the ground right in line with their feet, the odds of them being able to drop down to it are pretty low. But in those spots, we really do want to use our fakes and deception. Now we're going to walk through some drills that we can use to work on our inside finishing technique, and as I rep through kind of the mechanics of what we're going to want to do, players are going to want to choose which ones they want to try and then get at least 10 reps each time, whereas I'm going to move through the mechanics relatively quickly. So the first one we have is kneeling snaps. And so we're going to want to either take a knee on our top hand side knee, or we're going to want to have both of our knees down. Now first, we're not even going to have a ball. We're going to get to our collarbone position, and we're going to practice just our snap by pulling to our pocket, following to our pocket, coming through, coming back, coming through, coming back. And we're going to want to, at one point where we're going to be aiming. Now come back through, and once we have our snap down where we're really following through, we're not stopping here, now we're going to add a ball. Now once we add a ball, players are going to want to move their stick around a lot more to control the ball. We want to have them not do that. We want them to find the spot that they want to start from with their bottom hand below their top hand, below the head of their stick, and now they're just going to want to snap their wrists off and come over. Now The next thing they're going to want to start doing is they're going to want to turn their shoulders and fire through. We don't want them to turn their shoulders. We're just isolating this snapping movement. Next, we're going to work on snapping in a standing position. Now we can have a step, we can keep our feet flat, but the same idea is we want to snap. Now, once we have that snap down pretty well, we're going to want to move through that position. So we're going to step, have our shoulders kind of turn sideways, follow through that position, and snap to whichever side of the goal we want to hit. Next, we're going to do the same thing, but now we're just kind of going to jog. So we're going to come through, snap to the goal, and we're really going to work on the idea of snapping our wrists through the spot we want to aim. So when we think about aiming, we're going to use our shoulder and hip turn to make sure that as I'm coming through where I'm trying to aim, that I snap my shot off right when the butt of my stick is moving through the place that I'm trying to hit. The next drill we're going to do is going to involve a wall or having someone pass the player a ball. So what we're going to do is we're either going to throw it off the bounce back or have it passed to us, and we're going to work on catching the ball to our collarbone and snapping the ball off quickly. So the key here is that we also don't want to have this big movement to catch the ball. We want to catch it to our collarbone, get it there, snap the ball off. The next drill we're going to do, we're going to add our imaginary defenseman. I'm going to use our 11th man here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to throw the ball off of the bounce back, catch the ball, protect our stick in front of our body, and then pull it back to take our shot. Now, I'm doing this relatively slowly. When we actually do it, we want players to really move fast, catch, protect their stick, pull their stick out and finish. Now, this is one where when you pull your stick out to finish, you're not going to want to pull your stick out very far. You're going to want to make sure that you keep it protective as you pull your stick out to finish. Now, the final drill we have is the same type, where now we're going to throw it off our bounce back, catch it, protect our stick. But now as we pull our stick out, we're going to fake and finish, and we're going to add in some type of deception like a leaner, teeter-totter, behind the back, whatever you want to be creative with. I hope this video has helped you get a better understanding of the game and how to practice at home. If you liked it, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the POWLAX YouTube channel, and follow POWLAX on social media. To watch and learn more, support the POWLAX mission, and download the PDFs that accompany all of the POWLAX videos, head to POWLAX.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.